Yes, Sacramento King. Yes, that is what I am talking about. Beat them Dubs. Get rid of this rivalry. End that legacy. That's what I'm talking about, Kings. Good on the Kings for winning that first play-in game. They got themselves into this ninth position, though, so they have to win 2 play-in games. They got to win against the Pelicans next. Oops. Did you see that? Did you see the Kings blow out the Dubs? Keegan Murray with the big 32 points. Kings blow out the Dubs by like 25, 24-point lead, 24-point lead. I'll take it. In Sacramento, the Kings win in the first play-in game against the Golden State Warriors, 118-94. The Kings are currently 1-0 in the play-in tournament and have another game to win to go against the OKC Thunder, who ended up in first place in the Western Conference. Today is April 18th, 2024. Y'all back? We back. Y'all back? We definitely back. And I'm glad you're here with me. I have some really important things to say about the Kings and this game against the Warriors. I hope you're here for the whole video. And I just want to say, what's going on, YouTube? And what's going on with all my folks and all you Kings fans out there? It's your guy, Jay Wood, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of the King's Morning Aft, Midday Cup of Joe with Jay.
Ah! I love it.
Yes, you see that correctly. It's a Hello Kitty cup. Yep, it's a Hello Kitty cup. Don't hate. It's the biggest cup I have, and I wanted a big cup of Joe today, so I used the Hello Kitty cup. Plus, it's a happy day. I'm very happy that the King beat the Warriors in this play-in game. Yeah. Oh, man, that's a good cup of Joe. I must admit, good cup of Joe after that victory in the play-in game. And you know what day it is. And you know what day it is. Yeah. It's Thursday. Throwback Thursday. Throwback Thursday. My cup of Joe is, I'm really happy for the Kings, man. They went in there and did it. They're at home. They put it down. And that's how you do it. You go in and you show who the better team is. You don't go out there and half-ass against a former championship team. You go out there and you stomp on their neck. You put your foot on their neck and you hold it there until the end of the game. That's exactly what the Kings did. So good on the Kings. They got a couple days of rest before they got to go battle it out with the New Orleans Pelicans, who we all know they have lost 5 games in a row to 0-5 to the Pelicans this season. So this is a really big game. This is a really important game coming up. And the Kings, man, you know, they're going to have to hold it down the same way they held it down against the Warriors. They went out there and they just showed who the younger team is, who the more athletic team is, who the better team is. And good on the Kings for that. And that's my cup of Joe. 1 creamer, no sugar. Quick stats. The Kings in this 94-118 win, basically, they closed out the first quarter pretty well. The Golden State Warriors did a little bit of a comeback in the second, but the Kings did not come out lackadaisical in the third, which they're kind of known to do sometimes. And they came out and balled out in that third quarter. They were the more offensively aggressive team that was hitting shots in the third quarter. So good on the Kings. The Warriors did score 26, was good, but the Kings scored 37, which is better. And then in that fourth quarter, the Kings held dominant, held the Warriors to only 18 points, while we went ahead and scored a big 27 points in that fourth. Leading scorer was their leader, their guy, Stephen Curry, with 22 points. And off the bench, Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody were actually the second leading scorers with 16. Draymond Green with 12, Andrew Wiggins with 12. Their center, Trace Jackson Davis, couldn't get anything going with only 2 points. He got yanked with only 11 minutes played, 1 rebound. He was not handling, and Steve Kerr noticed that immediately, pulled him out. They gave 9 minutes to Kevin Looney, who was he got 5 rebounds in that 9 minutes, which is good, which makes me wonder why they pulled him out so quick when he was so dominant against the Kings last season and had a feast in rebounds against Sabonis last year and only ended up with 2 points. And the big story of the night, I believe, is Klay Thompson in 32 minutes was not able to score a point. Had an assist and 4 rebounds, but was not able to score at all. Klay Thompson just really looked bad. His shooting was not there. It was a bad night to have an off night. He played 32 minutes and scored just as many points as you and me. Also, Chris Paul was pretty much a non-factor, playing 18 minutes and only scoring 3 points. Chris Paul just had nothing to contribute last night or the other night, which I don't know. I thought was strange. He has a good shot, so for him to only score 3 points in a situation like that, a little puzzling to me. I don't know if it's because he's coming off the bench, if he's still injured, still feeling it, or if he's just getting old. But I thought Chris Paul would be a bigger contributor in that game, only scoring 3 points. And the Sacramento Kings leading scorer was our young guy, Keegan Murray, with a big 32 points, 9 rebounds. An amazing game for Keegan Murray. He was playing very aggressively, and I love it. De'Aaron Fox, second leading scorer with 24. And all of our starters got in double figures, high double figures, 15 points, which is wonderful. Keon Ellis, 15, Domantas Sabonis, 16, and Harrison Barnes decided to contribute with 17 points, which is excellent and what we needed. Domantas with 12 rebounds. Keegan pitched in 9 rebounds, which I already said. And off the bench, Trey Lyles did a decent job. Davion Mitchell did a decent job coming in and holding it down, mainly in rebounding while the starters were out. And they had 12 points between them. Team stats, shooting percentages was about even, 41 and 44 for the Kings. 3-point percentage was a little different. Warriors only shot 31%. Kings shot 46%. The Kings hit 8 more threes than the Golden State Warriors, which equals about 24 points. Free throws, Kings shot 93%, Warriors 78%. Kings had 28 assists, Golden State 19. And the Kings also had 10 steals. Golden State had 5. Golden State was 16 turnovers. Points in the paint was even with 40. Eye test. Yeah. Eye test. Eye test. Eye test. I'm gonna give the Kings an eye test. Sometimes when I do my stats, I feel like I start going into my eye test. Biggest eye test for me was I loved how Keegan Murray was being so aggressive offensively. He was going to the bat. He was shooting the 3 incredibly, coming off of screens, launching and hitting. And then when guys would double team him or he was getting covered closely, he was driving in for mid-range game, easy 10, 15 footers. Looked great. Offense looked great. So that was my biggest eye test that I got from the game. De'Aaron Fox was being very aggressive, driving to the basket often, early and often, using his mid-range, taking his mid-range game and using it to his advantage. Domantas Sabonis didn't look scared out there. He was out there posting up, grabbing rebounds like he normally does, being that anchor that we need him to be. And he wasn't backing down for nobody, which is what I like. He was walking around there with a black eye, showing that he was the dominator. Harrison Barnes decided to wake up. He pitched in with some timely 3-pointers, some great 3-pointers, some decent defense. Same with Trey Lyles. He came in off the bench and played some decent defense, grabbed some rebounds for us, which was great. Hit a 3 or 2, which I love. And Keon Ellis, man, the defense Keon Ellis played on Stephen Curry was just amazing. He was ripping that dude. He was hounding that dude. He was playing over on screens. He was stuck to that guy like glue. And I felt like Keon Ellis was playing better defense than even Davion Mitchell does on Steph Curry. So it was so good to see. And he was even ripping that dude. He ripped him like 2 or 3 times, just straight up, just poked the ball away, took it down court for an easy basket a couple times. So that was so good to see. And I mean, we might have lucked out with Klay Thompson having a very, very off night. I don't know if that's what he is now, just the older guy that can't shoot anymore. I doubt if that's the case. I'm sure Klay Thompson can still shoot the ball. Just had a really bad night last night. So the Kings got away with that, which is great. And the way the Kings played without Herter and Monk against Golden State is how they need to play moving forward. They need this exact same production. They need this exact same effort out of these guys against the Pelicans. They were playing defense. They were aggressive. They were active. Even Charles Barkley said at halftime, he said the Kings look more explosive than the Warriors, and they do. I mean, the Warriors kind of looked a little old. They looked a little aged, and I know they have a couple few young guys that they throw in there that they can throw in there, but they really rely heavily on their core. And the core looks a little aged. It's a little slow. It's a little slow. The core is slowing down just a little bit. And if they're not hitting a bunch of shots, it's hard for them to beat teams currently. And that's my eye test. Bottom line, the Kings morning after. Bottom line. Today's bottom line is kind of like I just said, the Kings need to play like this in the next game moving forward. They looked very cohesive. They were hitting shots. They weren't playing outside of themselves. They were doing things that they know they can do. De'Aaron Fox wasn't settling for shots. De'Aaron Fox was driving to the basket, using his mid-range game, using his quickness. The Warriors make a shot, De'Aaron Fox will go down quickly and go make a shot, which I love when he does that. Domantas Sabonis didn't look spooked. He didn't look scared. He wasn't turning the ball over. Great. We need to play this exact same game against the Pelicans. Bottom line. Next up, I've been saying it throughout the whole video. Next up, we have the Pelicans in our second play-in game. And that game is tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. The Sacramento Kings will be in New Orleans to face off against the New Orleans Pelicans for a second play-in game in what should be a furious pace, some great shooting, some great offense, and it's going to be curious to see how they play without Zion Williams. And let it be noted that the Pelicans have beat the Kings this season without Zion Williams by 33 points. And the Kings need to be aware of that. They need to go back, look at that game, and look at all the things they did wrong and make sure they come into this game ready and prepared. And also, please like this channel if you're still watching. If you're still watching up to this point, you must have liked something I said. Press that like button and subscribe so you can see my review the next day after the game, which will be on Saturday. So I'll have another review and analysis on Saturday. Please subscribe so you can join me for that. I'm a new channel, but I'm trying to grow the channel. I got some good stuff, some fun, entertaining stuff to come. So go ahead and subscribe now. Betting lines. Currently, they have the Sacramento Kings winning by 2 over the New Orleans Pelicans in New Orleans. And that probably has a lot to do with Zion Williamson being out for the game. So Brandon Ingram just got back into the game, but he doesn't look 100% just quite yet, which sounds pretty interesting. I mean, the odds makers, they get it right more than they get it wrong. I'll tell you that. And then they have the Heat over the Chicago Bulls by 1.5, which is basically you got to bet that they're going to win by 2. They have to win by 2 for you to win this bet. And this is the straight up bet is negative 125. So you win back, I want to say it's like 2.5% of your bet if you bet this way. Or is it 25? I think it's actually 25% of your bet. So how do you guys feel about these odds right here? I think I'm gonna make a bet. I'm gonna make a bet for the Kings. If you want to do some sports betting on the Kings, use the site that I use. I use the app called Bet Us. The link is in the description below. Click that link below. Use that link. They'll give you some extra points, some extra free play money. They'll match you dollar for dollar sometimes. So go ahead and use that link below, and it helps out the channel as well. Thanks. I got a question for you guys. So I was a little down on the Kings, just a little bit when I found out that they were going to be in the play-in tournament. I almost thought that was for sure a loss for them against the Warriors, and the season was going to be done. But the way they played against the Warriors has me feeling good about them again. How do you feel? Do you think they're going to be able to beat these Pelicans tomorrow on Friday? Let me know in the comments below. Also, as always, I ask if you're still watching, please click that like button. It helps the channel, helps kick the algorithm's ass. Also, subscribe so you can see the review and the analysis of the next game, and also my wonderful motivational quotes every time I do a show. And we're going to be doing some more fun and amazing stuff later. We're going to be doing some live game chat, live game review. So you're going to want to be a part of that. So go ahead and subscribe now. And also share the content. Let everybody know that this channel is here. We're doing King's Talk over here on this channel. Share the content, or you can share the content and talk trash and be like, hey, this guy is trash. I don't care. Just share the content. It helps the channel as well. And if you can, make a comment about anything. Comment about the Kings. Comment on how the Kings are doing. Answer that question I just asked. How do you feel about the Kings versus the Pelicans? Or comment on the weather. I don't care. Just make a comment. It helps the channel as well. And I have a motivational quote for you guys today. So I have a motivational quote for you guys today. And this one is by Tony Robbins, the great motivational speaker. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. Makes sense. We have to set goals. We have to set goals, and we have to find a way to measure our goals, and we have to stick to them. And we also have to sometimes have somebody else keep us liable to those goals. Sometimes you need an accountability partner to make sure you're hitting your goals. Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into visible. Thank you for that, Tony Robbins. And that's pretty much all that I have for you guys today. I appreciate you joining me. Hopefully you'll be back for the next video the day after the game, the second playing game, where I'll give you some more of my review and my analysis of the Sacramento Kings. And thank you for joining me on another episode of the Kings Morning Ad. Midday cup of Joe with Jay with my Hello Kitty cup. Yeah, it's a Hello Kitty cup. I'm only using it because it's the biggest cup I got. One is big cup of Joe today. But anyway, I'm out. But before you go, check out these moves. It's good.